I haven't felt lonely for over a year now, and I don't have a girlfriend. I barely see my friends. I barely interact with my family, even though we're living in the same block. Kind of in my own little shed right here. And no, I'm not coping with it. I genuinely think that feeling of loneliness is gone. I'm not suppressing it with the work I'm doing. And I think I have a little idea of why. And in one word, it's just purpose. Because back then, the most lonely I've felt was around first, second year of uni. Now I'm in my fifth year, the last year of uni. And I remember back then, I was fucking gaming I was kind of degenerate a little bit. I was gaming all day, 8 hours a day. I was going out, partying, drinking a lot of nights. I was also hanging out with my mates a lot. We'd play basketball, have basketball games, play basketball on the weekends, go to restaurants, hang out at friends' house. And I was even going to uni a lot. I was also in a uni social club for engineering club. And I was part of the committee. I was essentially hosting events and shit. So I have to go to all of those events. And even though I'm with so many people, again, I felt lonely as shit. And I don't really remember the specifics now, but what I felt with loneliness is just like, whenever I think of the idea of loneliness back then, when I think about it, it just feels like a sharp pang, like something suddenly rises up and makes me cold and empty. That's the feeling. And then you kind of just like, oh, fuck, I want someone, or something, but most of the time you think of someone to warm you up. And like, I desperately wanted a girlfriend back then so much to just, hug around, watch some Netflix, have a lovely time together every night. And yeah, if I remember, one of the main kind of uncomfortable feeling of that actually describes loneliness for me was just feeling cold. Because like, even if you say empty, what the fuck does empty even mean? It was just feeling cold. That's the best physical, manifestable way I can describe it. And I would often, I remember going out on dates as well. I remember one night, like after this one night with this girl date, it kind of went bad. And I came back, just literally cried for 7 fucking days. And I was listening to the song Alone by Marshmello. And I would just sit in the room, and I remember my mum. We'll let it play in the background a little bit. And my mum came in, and we kind of just looked at each other. We didn't say anything. And just hugged and cried. And we never really talked about it, but she obviously knows as well. Anyways, and the thing that changed was kind of just one decision, but a lot of smaller things have changed. And the turning point is kind of like another whole big ass fucking story by itself. But essentially, I was traveling to Japan with a bunch of my mates, four other guys. And I love to take care of those around me. And so back then, I really wanted to buy my mates food, because they're not willing to try a lot of the food I love to try. I'm a bit, excuse them more, it's just fucking up and go. I'm willing to try a lot of new things, and especially unagi is also very expensive, but I really wanted to just like be able to buy them, but I couldn't at the same time financially. And so I really just wanted money. That's kind of, the the starting point. Now my purpose is way more than that. It's way more grand, and I like what I have now, but I'm not gonna get into it. But I decided to really start locking the fuck in with my life. And so after Japan, came back and I learned coding for 6 months and started my own startup with a team called Foca. And now that startup is stopped at the end of last year because just financially we couldn't upkeep it. It's costing a lot for the users, yet we're not generating enough profit, so we have to stop it. But essentially for that entire fucking year, all I can think of day and night is Foca. Is, okay, how do we actually get users? How do we generate profit, the business model? How do we conduct user interviews to learn and iterate on our product to make it better? How do we know what people even want? We need to, talk to those people. And not to mention all of those learning about the startup side of things, the business side of things, the user psychology side of things. Also have to worry about fucking coding. Product is software, obviously. So, and coding is not just like front end, back end with AI, but also a lot of architecture with hosting in the clouds, choosing which service to host and how to connect all of those, how third-party softwares, APIs, all of those shit is a fucking headache. And so day and night, basically all I can think about is how do I make this shit work? From hindsight, it didn't. But of course, I learned a lot from that. And now I'm focused more on content. I also have a few ideas, a few projects that I'm working on, but mainly content. And I'm just thinking about how the fuck do I make content work? So there's no other things to think about. There's no room for feeling lonely when all you can think about day and night is how do you make what you're doing right now work. There's no room for anything else. I really want to play this music, but I also think I might get banned. But also, of course, I'm not saying fuck relationship, fuck human connections, and just grind all day. There's different things for people, because for me, I have a very addictive personality. So when I'm focused on one thing, it blocks everything out. So it might be different for you. I can't say for sure, but what I can say for sure is that if you're feeling lonely, but you're with people all the time, then I don't think the problem is people. I don't think more people will fill that hole of loneliness for you. I think the better way of putting it is everyone have this void, internal void. And a lot of the time, the easiest way to try to, or the feeling that you get when that void is just still a void is loneliness. And you think to fill that hole of loneliness with more people. But again, it's probably not just a problem with people. Because, again, for me, for example, back in uni, first few years of uni, I would go to clubs, let's say, and I would just stand in the middle of the crowd and just feel like, and that's standing in the middle of the crowd will make me feel the most lonely, because I just feel like an NPC. Even if I'm there with my friends, just loud music, everything should be sensory overload. It should fill you up. You know what I mean? It should just fill your internal void up. But no, it's doing the opposite. I feel shit. I feel like an absolute nobody. I feel like my life has no purpose at that point. And that's also the point. Yeah, it's not just loneliness, it's purpose. What is the point of your life? What is the meaning of your existence? That is, I think, more fundamental of what's causing just loneliness, for me at that point, at least. Yeah, so the problem of loneliness, I don't think it's people most of the time. So, yeah, as the title would suggest, I didn't really fix loneliness. From the outside point of view, I'm extremely isolated right now. I meet my friends. Last time I met my friends is 2 weeks ago, and that was the first time in like 2-3 months. And although I live with my family in the same block, I have my own isolated little shed here with my gym next to me, so I don't even interact with them all day. And also, I'm not saying, the lack of interaction means the connection is bad, the relationship is bad. No, I still have very good relationship with my family. And every time I see my good mates, we just fucking dab each other up and start touching each other inappropriately. You'll know what I'm saying if you got homies. But we don't see each other that frequently. We don't even send each other that much text. We don't even send each other. I don't even have that one guy who just sends you memes and shit, or like me to the other guy just sending reels and shit too. So from my outside perspective, I will be the most lonely. I will be one of the most isolated motherfuckers out there. But I don't feel like that at all because I have something to focus on. Because I stopped having time for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night and I noticed my girl wasn't by my side. Could've sworn I was feeling for you, I was feeling, so I had to take a little ride.